So for problem 91, part A, it says factor each expression. So we have x squared plus 8x. So the first thing you always want to check for is your GCF. So do you have a GCF? That is always the first thing you look for, no matter what. So is there anything I can take out of both of them? Well, if you think about it, x squared means x times x. 8 means 2 times 4 times x. So is there anything that they both have in common? Well, in this case, they both have an x in common, so that's a common factor. So if I take an x out of each of them, that would leave behind an x here. And then this is still 2 times 4, because I didn't take any of those numbers out, so that leaves behind an 8. So check it. X times x is x squared, and x times 8 is 8x. Now, after you GCF, then you have to ask yourself, is there something else you can factor by using the box and diamond, or is there a shortcut of a difference of squares? So the difference of squares is just a shortcut for the box and diamond. So if you don't remember the difference of squares, you can always use the box and diamond if you're left behind with that type of trinomial. So we don't have an x squared anymore, so this is just our final answer. So this one's done. So all we could do is take a GCF out and we're done. But now let's look at part B. Oh, pardon me, we have to do C. So looking at part C, it says 2x squared plus 14x minus 16. So first of all, I see that they're all even numbers. So I could take a 2 out of all of them. This one has an x squared. This one has an x. This one doesn't have a variable. So we have 1 times 2, we have 2 times 7, and we have 2 times 8. So if I take a 2 out of all 3 of those, that leaves behind x squared plus 7x minus 8. So that was my GCF. I took it out. Now I'm left with a trinomial, so I can box and diamond. So now the first and the last term of the trinomial, so it would be negative 8x squared up top with 7x on the bottom, ignoring the 2 for right now. So then what multiplies to give you negative 7, but adds to give, or pardon me, negative 8, but adds to give you 7. So it'd be positive 8 times negative 1 is negative 8, and positive 8 minus 1 is 7, positive 7. So then first term, first box, last term, last box, and then the 2 that I just came up with in the other openings. So I'm just going to plot my x's in first, because I always know they go in those corners. So x times x is x squared. X times what is 8x. And then what times x is negative 1. So then negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. So double check the last box to make sure all 4 work. So then I have x plus 8 as one of my terms, and x minus 1 as one of my terms, also with a GCF of 2 out in front. So don't forget that that GCF was taken out of the trinomial, so you put it back in front when you factor. So that would be the whole one for that. So in the last problem is 92 part A only. So I have 2 minus x over x plus 4 plus 3x plus 6 over x plus 4. So it says factor, or for each of the following rational expressions, add or subtract, then simplify. So let's add or subtract first. So I have the common denominators that I need, so let's just get one numerator and then see what happens. So I have a common of 2 plus 6, so that gives me 8. And then I have negative x plus 3x, so negative 1 plus 3 is plus 2x. So it says then simplify. So I have to look at the x plus 4. This is not an x plus 4, so I can't big 1 that. But if I notice these are both even numbers, so I can take a GCF out. So if I take a 2 out of each of them, that leaves behind a 4 plus x over, we have x plus 4. Remember that x plus 4 is the same thing as x plus 4 and 4 plus x. So that's a big 1. And I'm just left with a 2 in the numerator, so my answer is just 2.